Oh, that's crazy. Look at this.
Yo, what? Look, hold on. You know what's funny about this? Hey, you know what? Check it out. No way. It does the same thing that was did in the past. I set the date back to April 8, 2024, and this eclipse came up. That is so cool. I wasn't expecting that. That is crazy. That is no way. No way. Okay, here. Oh, watch this. Watch what it does. This is where the moon covered the sun. It happened right at 5:03 p.m. I believe. Hold on, let me set this. Oh, I know it's happening right here. Look at that. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Look at this. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Oh my God, you should have. That is crazy. Damn it, stop. Oh my God. Damn it, phone, quit. Oh crap. What? Damn, you can't even see the what? You can't even see the sun. You can't even see the sun, but you so. Wow! Look at that! Look! That's crazy! Look at that! That is crazy! Look, that's an eclipse. That's a solar eclipse right there. You still see the light, but it's just that's crazy. I never even thought about that. I never even thought about this. At least it's still there. I can't believe it. That is crazy. I'm gonna, hold on. Let me move the camera over this way so you see what the sun. I'm just gonna see what it looks like. That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, here's what it looks like. There's the sun. Watch the moon cover the sun as it's about to do that. This is April 28th. Yep, I can see the little moon. Look. Slightly slowly. Yeah, you see that? There's the moon covered up the sun. Look. There's the eclipse right there. 305. That's crazy. That's a fully total eclipse. That's a total eclipse right there. That's crazy. Wow, that is way more darker. Wow, that's a fully solar eclipse, but you still see this light. It's not bad, but it was more dark than it is. Dang, that is so cool. You don't even see no sunlight. I can't see nothing. I mean, it's supposed to see it, but look at that. I knew this game had a solar eclipse. I knew it. I knew it. Crazy. I can't believe it has a solar eclipse. I wonder if it might be. I'm gonna have to look in another area. I'm gonna have to look in another area. Let's go back. Let's go back in August. Let's go back to 2017. I know we got a month of August 21st. There also there is another eclipse. Yep, there you go. There's another one. But it's not fully dark over here. There's another eclipse. There was another eclipse happened in August 17th. No, August 21st, 2017. There's another eclipse. But that wasn't fully dark. This is happening at somewhere around 2:30. This is around 2:30. Wow, that is crazy. That is so cool. I didn't even thought about that. I never even thought about that. This is crazy. That is something else. That is crazy. That is crazy. Look at that. That is cool. There's an eclipse right there. August 17, 2017. Wow, that's crazy. That's cool. Go back to. We're gonna go back to April. Let me go back to April 8. Let me do that again. There's another eclipse again. There's an eclipse, but this time it was at 3:05. But this was already. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look how cool that is. And look. That is crazy. That is something. That is crazy. Hold on. Let me move this. Let me move it this way. I'm going to move it this way like this so you see the moon cover the sun. I'm going to do it again. Let me go down around 3:05. Set the time at 3:05. There's the moon covered up the sun. You see that? That's the eclipse. If I keep going, you can barely see the sun. There's a full dark, and then it kept going, and there's the sun again. Yep. Sun's moving away from the moon, and then the sun came up. I tell you what, this flight simulator did a really good job putting that solar eclipse right there. I tell you what, I knew it had solar eclipse in this game. I knew it. Okay, let me go about right. See, watch it. Look at this. You see that? If you guys did not know about the solar eclipse in this game, it does have solar eclipse in this game. How cool is that to watch it how it does that? That's crazy. That is cool. I can't believe they put that on there. That is crazy. That is something I'm gonna do that. That's cool. So next time I'll have to look at it. But yeah, I just want to show something. That was cool. That was cool. That was cool.